So I started a treatment program called the Narcotics Treatment Administration, February 18th, 1970. And Walter Washington announced that. It was a big deal kind of thing. And that began my experience with the heroin problem in Washington.
We, the Lorton Youth Center Drama Company, has the pleasure of presenting to you the portrayal of one of the most deadly and influential enemies of our community, King Harold.
Drug starts in the teenage years. And if you get through the teenage years, you get through to 21, the likelihood of starting the drugs goes way down. It's not zero, but it goes way down. And the thing that was striking about the district was how many of the young people were using heroin. I mean, it was in some parts of the city, it was way more than that were using heroin. It was an epidemic that went on. It didn't stay that way, but it exploded, and it was devastating.
Want to buy some dope? I want some dope. Hey, Jesse.
Child, where my work's at, man?
Jack, the dope is beautiful.
Man, where my work's at, then, Child? What my works you got in your arm?
Man, be easy, Jack. The dope is good.
You weren't acting like that a minute ago.
I was sick a minute ago, Jack.
You gonna sell that kid that dope, man?
And then the dope gonna make him slick. You don't want to go to school, don't want to work.
Child, that kid in the 6th grade, child, look at his books, man. And you gonna steal that kid that...
Hey, Shawty. Hey, Jesse, give me some salted water. Man, it fell out.
What? Wait a minute,
fell out.
man. How many times you cut that dope?
Man, the dope is good, man. Give me shit today.
Hey,
man, do something, man. It's hard not beating.
Where the start
I
at?
say it's hard not beating. Do
Where the
something.
start?
I don't know. It's hard not beating. Don't leave me by myself,
Child,
please.
we all right, child.
Please don't leave
But I
me.
don't want no fella beef, child. I can't get in with a bad
That once you got that idea that the heroin was the driver of the behavior, you could think about how to get the person off the heroin. And that became my window into drug treatment. And we started this, one of the biggest programs. And to tell you that it was very interesting what that program was like. I was in the Department of Corrections for 1.5 years, and I headed NTA for 3.5. So my entire district career was 5 years. That's not very long, but it was very intense. And that NTA experience for that 3.5 years, that was a model program for the whole world, not just in the United States. You don't have a lot of DC programs that people are coming from all over the world to see.
Most of you started smoking marijuana when you were introduced to narcotics.
I did. I started smoking.
For me it was, but I wanted a different high, you know, and weed it wasn't good enough, and I heard that heroin and stimulants, crystals, were a better high, and that's why I went to them, you know.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I guess a lot of people started that way. Speaking for myself, I did.
I started on weed and got burned out, and I needed something stronger, so I went to heroin.
Well, I started smoking weed, you know, because I was running away from something which was myself. And out of all I've run through a lot of highs trying to run away from myself: heroin, LSD, methadone. I like marijuana. I just couldn't handle it myself. I was looking for something else.
We were creating something that had never been before. Okay. There was no precedent for what we were doing. We had the authority of the federal government through the Nixon administration and under the wonderful Walter Washington for the city to just do what's the right thing to deal with this problem. And it was a thrill of my life putting together a staff of 500 people and 20 treatment centers in the city, 5,000 people at a time, total of 15,000 over the 3 years. It was exciting every day, what we were dealing with. The media was a big deal. Talking to the media was to reach a lot of people, dealing with the controversies. Every year, the big issue was the budget. How do you grow the budget? For example, getting grants from the federal government to help in the District of Columbia was a big project. It was fun. And most of the people were like I was then, very young and energetic and just excited by the mission.
The counselors know the patient, they know his daily routine, and they are wary of pitfalls.
You may have an argument with your wife. You might go to work in the morning, and all of a sudden, where you used to handle 25 cartons a day, the boss gives you 30 cartons. And this is another excuse. See, this is an excuse to go, like, I got to handle 30 cartons, so I'm going to go out and shoot dope, you know. You can be free from drugs for 5, 6, 7 months. And all of a sudden you want to reward yourself, you know, like, wow, I've been clean now for 6 months, you know. I'm doing great. You know, I'm making money, I got money in the bank, my wife loves me, my kids love me. Let me go out and get high, you know, and this happens. So these are the things you have to be aware of. But the point that I want to bring out is that if you do use, don't be afraid to come by, you know, and tell us, because that's what we're there for.